explain the math of this to me? I mean, where's the sense of risking the lives of the 8 of us to save one guy?
20 degrees. Anybody want to answer that?
Drivers, think about the poor bastard's mother.
Hey, Doc, I got a mother, all right? I mean, you got a mother, Sarge has got a mother. I mean, I bet even the captain's got a mother. Well, maybe not the captain.
We're back with the captain of that platoon, Tom Hanks, who leads this platoon of some of the finest, brightest young actors in the incredible Saving Private Ryan. We have been promising them throughout the show, and here they are. Please welcome, first of all, the man you just heard complaining. What are we doing here? Why should we be here? He is wonderful in this, Ed Burns. Are you okay? I mean, are you still close friends? I mean, after this movie, you're still okay?
Yeah, who wants to feel that one?
I think, you know, the boot camp was 7 days, very intense situation where, you know, we became a real tight group that I think all of us thought afterwards, we'll know these guys for the rest of our life. But then, you know, 3 months of filming with everybody else.
Matt won an Oscar, and he got hard to get a hold of on the spot.
I pretty much...
And Tom, of course, had won too.
Yeah.
He was impossible. So Ed and I talked.
I see. The rest of you say we must meet for lunch. Matt, because Tom mentioned that, you made this film before Good Will Hunting.
Right.
And you don't have the biggest part in the whole film.
No.
So how do you feel about that today, now that you are so important and huge and all of that?
No, honestly...
Give a modest answer.
If I could do it all over again, I would do this movie every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Absolutely. I'm so proud to be in this movie at all. Like, Eddie and I were talking about just, if we had been totally cut out and were just the extras in this movie, it would just be such an honor. I mean, I'm going to look back, you know, we were talking about our grandkids, you know, and we're gonna just, you know, this is going to be on our filmography forever. And I don't care if I had one line or you know, a really big part. I really don't. This is just a great movie, and I'm really proud of it.
I'm sort of teasing, but I think you feel that way when you see this film.
I want to ask you something. When you hit that beach, you looked really scared. All of you do. I mean, you look scared when in that first scene. Is that acting, or were you really scared?
I was afraid that the Irish Army kids were getting hypothermia. So that registered in my eyes because it was really cold and a lot of the kids were complaining. No, it was acting, actually. But it was true that the Irish Army it was very cold that day, and they were, in fact...
What do you mean the Irish
we were out.
Those were the extras.
Those were the extras. The Irish Army was both playing Germans and Americans.
Spielberg actually uses real armies.
He uses real armies.
He calls up country.
He calls up country.
Hi, this is Steven Spielberg, and they
Can
go,
I get your
right
army?
over.
Can I get your army for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
He can get it.
But does he use real mines, too? It seemed as though things were really exploding.
Those were mines, but they're movie mines, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. I had never done anything like that. And there are a couple of scenes where we're running across the beach or through trenches and stuff, and when those explosions are going off, you know, there's, you know, pebbles and dirt and stuff, and you have a weapon that's, granted it's blanks, but, you know, I mean, that thing is getting hot and firing, and there are moments there where it's terrifying, where you kind of get lost, you know, at least I did.
First time that you've done a film that you haven't written yourself. First time you've read somebody else's lines.
Yeah, you know, again, you know, you work opposite Tom and with Steven. The first day of shooting, absolutely terrified.
What about
you know?
What about us?
You know, I was terrified of Sizemore for different reasons. You know?
And you know, Debbie was talking about how young she is. She's only 23 years old. She was 15 when the Persian Gulf War. You're young also, Matt. How old are you?
27. Yeah.
27.
Yeah, I was in college when the Persian Gulf crisis kind of happened, but yeah, it's a different. I mean, I think hopefully at the end of this, when I saw the movie, I really it really made me think about, it transports you back to that time, and I think anybody will end up asking themselves the question to kind of what would I have done in this situation?
Would any of you, now when you think about it, is there any situation that you can think of in which you would risk your life for somebody who is a stranger? A perfect stranger? Yeah.
Tom, you may speak.
Yes, you may talk.
Me? No, I actually think the movie asks some questions. At what cost do we engage in fighting? At what cost do we do this?
Yeah.
And that's all a personal thing. In the movie, I'm not going to blow it, so I'm not going to say it. Certain guys don't want to do it. Certain guys do want to do it.
Well, we already saw it.
Okay, no, Ed doesn't want to do it. Ed doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I play the sergeant. I play Tom's, his aide de camp, so to speak. So our whole thing is get the mission done.
Yeah.
And in that circumstance, I'd like to think that I would, in fact, do the mission like we did.
But do you
I like to think I would do that.
Do you think that there's another war that we could ever have that was like that war? Where we
I don't think we can have another war like that because of the advent of nuclear weapons and stuff. You're never going to have a war that's, this is the bad guys, these are the good guys.
But if they're your buddies,
Yeah.
if you've been with them, and it's your buddy out there, it's your friend, it's someone that you'll do it.
Absolutely.
Did you feel this way working this film? Because we're going to talk about boot camp later, but how long were you all together making this film?
3 months.
3 months?
Okay.
Three and a
Did you feel
3.5 months.
doing it that Tom was indeed the captain that you would follow anywhere?
I think there were
No, as a matter of fact, they didn't at all. They didn't like it.
there was a moment in boot camp where, I guess there were 2 moments in boot camp. One was the sort of the night invasion where Barry Pepper drifted off into the woods. And
we're laughing about it.
yeah. But anyhow, we kind of screwed up, and Captain Dye really got on us. And Tom then, in turn, sort of followed Captain Dye's lead. And, in boot camp, we had to remain in character and refer to one another as the character's name. But Tom really stepped up and, put us in our place because we did mess up. And that was that kind of set the tone. But granted, during the downtime, it wasn't like that. But
You're the only one who raises. You're so good. Matt, if you don't raise your hand, we're never going to call you,
Go ahead, man. Go you. You got an apple for it back in the back.
I guess I'd like to just say that Tom I became a dear friend of mine. I love him. And he was easy to follow. And he kept everybody's head up because it was very difficult in boot camp, and a lot of guys wanted to leave, and we took a vote, and Tom said something very, very good. He said, "You're never going to have a chance to do this again. We'll never come back here. We'll never do this again. So if you want to go home, go home. But we're never going to get a chance to do that. We're going to go do the movie now. So if you guys want to leave, just remember, this is our last chance to do these types of things."
We should explain that you actually went to real boot camp. The only one who didn't is the kid here who didn't raise his hand. Right? You didn't
I'm trying to be inconspicuous over here.
We were rangers, you see. We were rangers.
Listen to me, Matt. You are never going to be inconspicuous.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be the one to tell you. You haven't noticed that?
I've started to, I guess, yeah.
Well, we're going to come back and talk about boot camp, and we're going to come back with the real captain who put you all through it with Ed and Matt and Tom.
And Tom.
And Tom. Oh, it's hard for me to remember
two Toms.
So we will be right back to hear what boot camp is like. Stay with us.
Were the boys from Saving Private Ryan tough enough? Find out which of these guys was about to go AWOL and meet the captain who almost had a mutiny on his hands.